this video, I'll be going into more detail with keyframes in Adobe After Effects. So I'm going to start off by making a new composition. I'm just going to make it 6 seconds long. And you always want 1920 by 1080 when you're working full screen, and we'll do 23.976 frames per second. I'm going to start off with some type. I'm just going to use my initial, the letter M. And I'm going to change the size over here in the character by sliding across the number, make it about that big. I'm going to grab my black arrow tool and move it to about there. Now I'm going to duplicate this layer 5 times. So I press Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to go to the last one. Just moving it down to the bottom. I'm going to select all 5 layers and go to Align. If you don't have Align, Window, Align. That's how you get it open. You've got your aligning for the characters, like if I want to left align them, down their center, right align, but I'm looking for this distribute layers, vertical center distribution. So it's going to evenly space them out between the first and the last one. That's how that's done. Now in class I went over position, rotation, scale, and transparency. And those can be brought by a P or an S with the layer selected, T, and R. If you hold down Shift, you can do more than one. If you can't remember those, you can always twirl down this arrow on the layer and then transform. And they're all right here: position, scale, transparency, and opacity. For this demonstration, I'm going to do position. So I selected all of them and just pushed the P key. As always, you need to start with the keyframe. So I click the stopwatch. Since they're all selected, it made a keyframe for all of them. I'm going to go ahead 5 seconds, and I'm going to add one more keyframe. So I'm going to click here in the Add Keyframe, and since they're all selected, I have a keyframe here. Now when you're doing your keyframe animation, if you've got both of them selected like this, and I move it, both keyframes will have the same movement, and it won't move. But if you only have one keyframe selected of the two for that layer, it will move. So if I select just this one and I move it, you will have the motion because you only changed one keyframe. It was here, now it's over there. So I'm going to select the last keyframe of all the layers, but not both keyframes on all the layers. I'm going to slide along the numbers to the right, or you could use your arrow, your black arrow, start dragging, then hold down the Shift key. Okay, so this is where they are at the beginning of the frame. That's where they are at the next keyframe. What's going to happen when I hit the space bar is they're going to move in a constant, steady speed because there's no change in velocity. So with the top one, I'm going to keep it as is. The one beneath it, I'm going to select the first keyframe and right-click, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease Out. What this will do, now we have a different icon for the keyframe. It'll ease out of the first keyframe slowly and then build up speed. See how it's behind all the other ones? This isn't playing as fast because I'm recording at the same time, but you see how the motion has changed. Now for the one beneath that, I'm going to select the one keyframe at the end, right-click, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease In. And this will gradually slow down coming into the last frame. So we're going to pay attention to this middle M near the end. See, this is the one we slowed down at the beginning, easy, ease out. Now this is starting to speed up. It's ahead of the other ones, and then it's going to gradually ease in. And you see the other one's starting to catch up because it's slowing down. For this layer right here, I'm going to select both keyframes, right-click, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. That means it's going to ease out of the first keyframe and ease into the last one. So watch the bottom M. It's already behind some of them, but it's got a smoother moving in and out motion to the other keyframes. And then for the topmost layer, I'm going to show you the last type of keyframe interpolation. When you're changing how the keyframes interact with motion, that's keyframe interpolation. So the top one is what we'll pay attention to. So I got the first frame selected. It's not under keyframe assistance, right here. Toggle, hold, keyframe. I get the last keyframe, I select that. Toggle, hold, keyframe. And this will have no movement between the two. It's going to be an absolute. It's going to be over here. Then in the blink of an eye, it'll be over there. So watch the top one. It's standing there. It's still. Watch the play arrow. Once it hits its next keyframe, it's going to fly very quickly. Not even fly. It's going to instantly appear on the other side of the screen. Right? Keep your eye on it right about now. It instantly moved. There's no distance between the two of them. It's an absolute here, then there. Those are the different keyframes, types of keyframe interpolation. Easy ease out, easy ease in. You can see where the arrow's pointing. It's moving out of that one. Easy ease and toggle hold.